your friendly neighborhood quarter guy here, and today I want to talk about my thoughts about this past week's Nintendo Direct, the first Direct since the passing of Satoru Iwata. And, well, you saw my reaction to the announcement of Cloud for Smash Brothers. I mean, it pretty much came out of nowhere. I mean, it's like, Cloud's a character you would think would have been in Sony PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, but he wasn't in that, and now he's in Smash Brothers. What are the chances? Some people are speculating that this might be a sign that the Final Fantasy VII Remake might be multi-platform, and with one of the platforms being the Nintendo NX. Yeah, you might want to curb your enthusiasm for that, because Cloud's inclusion in Smash Brothers doesn't prove jack. That being said, it's a pretty nice touch, and I'm surprisingly okay with this. I mean, yeah, some time ago I said that I wouldn't want to see Cloud in Smash, but yeah, I kind of gotten over that. And now, the initial shock wore off. The rest of the Direct was, okay. It had its moments. Let's go over what they revealed, well, what they showed off one by one. First off, revelation of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. So far, what we've seen is pretty much some better looking models, and that's pretty much it. They're probably going to show off more new features as it gets closer to the launch on March 4th. But they've already shown off that it's going to be available in a special bundle with a Wolf Link and Midna amiibo, which will be also compatible with the Legend of Zelda U, which still doesn't have a name but has been reconfirmed for 2016. Yeah, so at least we know we'll have at least one really big release from Nintendo then. Next up, some updates to Triforce Heroes, including the Den of Trials, a couple new costumes, Lineback's uniform, and the Fierce Deity armor. The Fierce Deity armor looks a little overpowered, to be honest. But then again, it's the Fierce Deity armor, so yeah. Any of you people out there enjoying Triforce Heroes? Is it worth something recommending if you have friends at least? Feel free to let me know. A couple new maps, some gear and stages coming to Splatoon, including a resort map and an art museum. Kind of ironic that you're having a paint gun battle in an art museum. The Inklings must be pretty uncultured. Also, there's going to be an update sometime in the future, which is going to be featured in a Nintendo's Treehouse Splatoon tournament. Yeah, apparently there's going to be a new tournament feature coming to Splatoon. Sounds pretty interesting. Let's see, next, Super Mario Maker is getting a new portal website to help you look for levels. Strange that they're not going to be including it in the actual game, but, oh well. Star Fox Zero's looking a bit better since it was showed off at E3. Characters look a bit better. Environments overall look improved. Definitely something I'm looking forward to. Okay, so it's hitting Japan on April 21st. Next, some updates on Pokken Tournament, including the fact that the first release run is going to come with a special amiibo card that will allow you to play as Shadow Mewtwo. Now, this is pretty interesting. I mean, we already know Shadow Mewtwo is going to be a secret boss in the game, but I didn't think it was going to be playable. Also, yeah, Shadow Mewtwo's burst attack looks like it's something out of DBZ. It looks like Frieza's Death Ball, and it does over 9,000 hits. Seriously, they weren't even trying to be subtle with it. Alright, they also showed off Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Hopefully it turns out to be better than, from what I heard, Gates to Infinity was, because I heard Gates to Infinity was pretty crap. At least from some people, anyway. More details on Xenoblade Chronicles X. They're going to be releasing some stuff to be, how do I put this? Basically, download packs so that the game can start right away. I'm surprised they actually would do something like that. The full game's also available for preload, by the way. Let's see, next up, yes, a new eShop free-to-play game called Pokemon Picross. And by the looks of things, the purchasable stuff in that game is only going to be able to help you solve puzzles. It's not going to be, you're not going to have to pay to unlock levels by the looks of things, so that's good. Showed off some indie games, some of which are probably also going to be on Steam, including, let's see, Fast Racing Neo is a Wii U exclusive, aka pretty much F-Zero without the F-Zero name. In fact, I actually heard that they might be getting the F-Zero GX announcer to do Fast Racing Neo. Typo Man looks like an interesting game. So, yeah. Talk about more Amiibo stuff they also talked about. Also, another big announcement. As it turns out, the Pokemon Gen 1 games are going to be coming February 27th to the 3DS Virtual Console. Now people are going to be able to return to those games and see just how dated they are. Now, they announced that it was going to have wireless communication support for trading and battling and stuff, so at least you won't have to worry about the fact that the 3DS doesn't have support for Game Link cables. That's definitely a good thing. Alrighty. More information on Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. Yeah, it's a Mario & Luigi game with Paper Mario characters in it, and it looks very cool. Hopefully it'll get the taste of Sticker Star out of my mouth. That's coming in January. They also showed off Final Fantasy Explorers. That looks interesting. Basically, it looks like Monster Hunter meets Final Fantasy, and from what I've seen of it, it looks pretty good. Might be something worth looking into. And it's going to include all the DLC that's currently available in Japan right now for free, which is definitely a good thing. Let's see, more information on Fire Emblem Fates. There's going to be separate versions for Birthright and Conquest, with you being able to get the other one as downloadable content for $20. And then there's the third part, Fire Emblem Fates Revelation, which will be another $20, by the sound of it. And then there's going to be a special edition that includes all 3 storylines. Okay. It seems like Fire Emblem Fates has gone the Pokemon route. And yet, people aren't calling Pokemon out on it. Well, in general, anyway. I'm kind of surprised. It's a little disconcerting that I just hope that the Fire Emblem franchise in general doesn't keep on this route of having to split the game up, because if one cartridge can hold all 3 storylines, then why separate them? I mean, it doesn't really make that much sense. Well, the game itself looks good, though, but again, the business model doesn't seem to make that much sense. Oh yes, Mega Man Legacy Collection for 3DS is coming in early 2016, and there's a special edition with a gold Mega Man amiibo. Really? It's gonna be an amiibo. People are gonna want to buy it. Also, next, Hyrule Warriors Legends coming out in March. And they've added a new original character to that game. They finally added a female counterpart to Link, whom they have chosen to name Linkle. I'm sorry, well, I'm all for seeing a female Link in a Zelda game, even if it is a spin-off, but I really think they could have come up with a better name. Oh boy. Yada yada. Alright, next, some announcements regarding the 2 Dragon Quest 3DS remakes. They are coming to America next year, which is something really cool. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game except for Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime, but I might try out these remakes. They look pretty good from what I hear. And last thing we got from the Direct, the fact is, at the end of the Cloud trailer, it was revealed that a special broadcast for Super Smash Bros. Is coming in December, which I'm guessing will probably reveal the results of the ballot. And they say it's going to be the last Smash Bros. Broadcast. So, for my question of the week, what are you expecting from the December Smash Bros. Broadcast. As always, leave your answers in the comments below. I'll pick my favorite answers and feature them on next week's episode. Here are last episode's winners. And with that, time for the Fourth Wall Mailbag. Now, if you want to send me your questions for the Fourth Wall Mailbag, send them via YouTube personal messages, and I'll pick my favorites and answer them on the next episode. First one today comes from Joshua Antoine, who asks, have you made a level in Super Mario Maker? Several, actually. Yeah, to be honest, I'm really enjoying Super Mario Maker. I mean, not only is it fun to create levels, though it's harder than you think, it's also a lot of fun playing levels that other people create. I mean, you see more creative levels from people playing the game than you actually see from Nintendo, to be honest. I mean, during my Extra Life charity stream, I actually completed a level that Alex took like a long time to finish. Alex the Autarch, by the way. It's like, it was a friend of his, who sent him the level, and it took him a long time to finish it. I finished it off in a seriously shorter amount of time, and he freaked out. I mean, he went into hysterics. You had to have been there. Anyways, I've made levels involving amiibos. I've made a maze level. I made a level that centers on controlling your cape feather. That's difficult, believe me. But yeah, Mario Maker's a lot of fun. And there's a lot more possibilities now that there's checkpoints available. Definitely a good thing. So yeah, if you have a Wii U and are a fan of Mario, I suggest picking up Super Mario Maker if you haven't already. It's fun. Next question comes from AxelEXE, who asks, which characters would you like to see in Central Fiction besides Jubei? Well, to be honest, Jubei is really the only character I could think of who I'd want to see in Central Fiction that hasn't been announced yet. Because I really can't think of anyone else I'd like to see. Yeah, they pretty much exhausted all their lineup at this point. Which is fitting, since Central Fiction is probably going to be the last BlazBlue game. I mean, the last game in the BlazBlue storyline. So it's pretty much appropriate that they exhaust their character roster by now. It's playable. Alright, next question comes from Theodore Monin, who asks, do you watch Arrow or The Flash? No, I don't. In fact, I really don't watch that much TV to begin with, so there's really no reason for me to talk about it, because, well, unless you want to talk about the upcoming death battle, which is Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Since I really don't know that much about either, I can't really make a judgment as to who's going to win that one. Next question comes from the AAJYU, who asks, any thoughts on the end of Daylight Savings? Well, let me tell you something. I live in Arizona right now, and Arizona does not observe Daylight Savings Time, so I really couldn't care less one way or the other, because it doesn't affect me. I don't have to change my clock. I don't have to do any of that. I just go to sleep. I just went to sleep, and just as if nothing happened. But I can't. But I'm sure the rest of you might have had to adjust a little bit, at least. Last question comes from Sonic Tales, who asks, what kind of game do you think Sega should make for Sonic's 25th anniversary? How about a good one?